How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting. Welcome back to Aokana. When this comes out, it'll probably be late because I got violently ill yesterday. It was like a food poisoning thing. Feeling a lot better today, but I couldn't record when I normally would, and that means that this is coming out and is going to need to be edited basically ad hoc the day it's coming out. Well, not quite. It's not currently the day this is going to be coming out, but the editing and processing is all going to happen on the day it comes out. So I'd be surprised if this didn't come out until maybe 12 hours late, because YouTube tends to just do that to me every time. Like, sometimes videos will upload and boom, they're ready to go. Other times it's just like, oh, you want this out in a hurry? Well, we're going to take 50 billion times longer. So yeah, we'll be right there. Regardless though, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to put it out and I'm going to be happy about it because we're here. It's Aokana and it's happy time. So we had some pretty interesting interactions, lots of fun moments, and a lot of interesting games, and just, I'm guessing, foreshadowing. I think someone mentioned last time wanting to hear my thoughts about Misaki. I'm guessing that she's a favorite of theirs. And they did kind of point out their, okay, you guys, you be careful not to lead me on too much because you're going to influence how I think and approach situations. But they did make a kind of mention that is relevant, I think, to this idea that she seems to respond to anybody who does seem to do better than her directly. We saw that with the president of the club at the school we went and did the summer camp with, and then when Asuka did her backflip, Misaki kind of had to try the backflip too. And we also saw Misaki on her, when she's with us, she's tried to be very flippant and dismissive of things. But then when she was on her own, she was training really hard. And so along that line of thinking, it seems like she has a mask. She tries to put on this aloofness, but it's probably more of an act than I even was saying before. I was already saying I feel like it feels kind of like an act. I think it's a super act. It might be that she is constantly facing the dread that most successful people have, which is a combination of an imposter syndrome and a poor self-image, where they feel like they have to project a certain attitude or certain capacity, a certain capability. But there's a detachment there because the motivation isn't to succeed because you enjoy it. It's to succeed because you have to succeed or else you feel like you're not worth anything. And that thing is I've experienced that, maybe not to the Misaki level where oh, she's just great at everything. I'm not great at everything. But I tell you what, I'll beat myself up all the time over stuff that is unreasonable for me to have as my expectations for myself. But I put that bar up there and I get upset at myself when I don't achieve that point. It's just who I am. And so, yeah, I imagine I'm probably projecting, but it feels like it might be on track, at least somewhat. I'm sure there's a lot more to it. But so far, one thing that this game is really showing is it kind of does that thing I love when stories do. Visual novels, books, whatever. It's where you're introduced to characters, given these kind of tropey attitudes and kind of stereotypical behaviors or caricatures almost. But then as you go on, you quickly realize that all the things you thought you understood about the character is legitimate. They actually behave that way, but that there's a lot more underneath. There's a lot more going on under the surface, but it doesn't contradict the way they behave. It's an expression, the way they behave is an expression of a deeper seated feeling and action and emotion. And that's really cool. It's very hard to do that as a writer. So very impressed. And I think Aokana is showing a lot of really good caliber writing. At least it's hinting at it. I'm sure it feels like it's really there, and I'm excited to see it express itself. But, I can't call it yet because we still got a lot of growing to do and we've got a lot of characters to see. Anyway, that's a long intro, so let's jump into it. So it's post, rain days and stuff. But it looks like the weather's clearing up, so maybe we can fly finally. The following day. Oh my gosh.
Hi, 到着.
Did she have a dog before? This dog feels different. But, I don't know. He's cute. Asuka stops running right in front of her house, and so does the golden retriever she's leading around. Done already?
はい、今日はこの辺を回る程度でよかったので。
Hey, that's a good warm-up exercise. She removes the leash on her dog while she's answering me, then chains it to the edge of the doghouse. Oh, duh. I think we have seen the dog before. Didn't she have it when we first met her and she lost the little charm? Maybe I'm misremembering, but I swear I remember that.
本当にごめんなさい。休みの日に付き合わせちゃって。
No, that's not a problem. Nah, it's fine. Don't sweat it.
でも、練習でも何でもないのに、しかもすごく個人的なことですし。
I mean, what are friends for? Asuka suddenly asked me whether I was free on Saturday. I was super curious of what she wanted, so I said yes, but the first thing we did was take her dog for a walk.
ほら、テリー、お座り。
The Kudashina family's dog name is Terry. Asuka told me her dad named him. Aww. That's a very human woof, though. That's really weird. Terry immediately folds his back legs and sits down. Oh, he's a smart one.
ですよね。自慢の子なんです。
Asuka proudly puffs up her cheeks as she says that.
テリー、お手。テリー、おかわり。ぐるぐる。
Aww. Amazing.
しつけたのはお父さんなんですけどね。でも、テリーは本当に覚えがいいんです。
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Dogs are pretty good. I've never been the greatest with dogs. I've never had to train one. Probably will someday, but just as of yet hasn't happened. But I do enjoy dogs. It's an exposure thing usually for me, though. Sometimes I can only take so much. I can see that. If he's that smart, there's probably a ton of other stuff you could teach him.
ですね。今もまた何か仕込んでるみたいです。
That a fact?
はい。
She makes her dad sound really interesting. Or, well, maybe eccentric is the better word for it. Better avoid asking for details.
何をですか?
Nothing. More important, we should hurry before they go on break.
はい。
And so, now that we're done with the first item on Asuka's to-do list, we hurry over to the next one. So we're just gonna have like a chill date. Like, is this a date? Not really, because it sounds like dates need to be something you both agree to. But it feels more like you could think of all the fun dates you have with somebody where you the traditional one is like dinner and a movie, which is a terrible first date, by the way. It's a great maybe week 3 date kind of a thing, but no, first date, terrible. Like, you need to be getting to know each other and actually seeing what chemistry you have with somebody. Sitting in a movie theater with somebody usually doesn't do that. Now, enjoying a movie together with somebody you know you've got a connection with, yeah, it's fantastic. You can make a game out of it. You can whisper to each other. But on a first date, you're just going to be sitting there awkwardly next to each other. Or pseudo-awkwardly, I suppose. Depends on who you are. But a great, we've been dating for 2 months now, let's go and do this, can be the simple, hey, I just want to be around you, but I have stuff I have to do. Let's just do it together. That's a great date, honestly. You can take something very normal and add some flair to it, like checking out a new restaurant together or visiting a favorite haunt along the way. Heck, even one of my favorite dates I ever did was us going to a store together, buying ingredients for a recipe that we'd agreed that we wanted to cook, going home and preparing the meal together, chopping up the vegetables and, cooking everything in its pieces, working together to make ourselves a dinner, and then putting on a movie. And it's funny because that's so... It's literally the date I just described as being a terrible date. But when you do so much together, we didn't go to a restaurant, we made our own food. We didn't just put in any movie, we put in a shared favorite movie or something we at the time were marathoning or something, which in my head, the perfect example of this was in high school. And we were marathoning the Star Wars movies because we'd both grown up watching them and we hadn't seen them in a while, and so we were just hey, let's watch them together and chat about them and stuff, and we just nerded out about the whole thing, which is super funny because especially for her, she was very much presented to most everyone around her a very I wouldn't say preppy, but just together, had the makeup on, dressed well, went to social events, you'd never realize unless you got to know her that she had a lot of really geeky passions as well, like Star Wars. And so it was a really fun way for us to bond that nobody else in her friend group really could bond with her over. And so it was a really good time. Anyway, Reminiscing over. Let's jump back into it. So now that we're done with the first item, we hurry over to the next one.
こんな大きなパフェ。
Alright, so I was talking about how, like, it's a pseudo date. This is just a date. How is this not a date? We're going together and getting a parfait, like a fancy looking parfait. Now granted, I feel like the parfaits are over the top. Like, in anime and stuff, like, they can't actually be that big, right? How could any one person eat that much yogurt or ice cream in one sitting? Also, parfait, I'm not sure if it's like a fancy, if it's yogurt or like soft serve ice cream. It looks more like ice cream. Like, it looks like a sundae. But parfait, I've always associated with a yogurt. Now, either way, how can someone eat just that on a whim? And they always make them look crazy big. It can't actually be that big, right? I mean, she says it's a big one, but like, we're also in anime land where the rules don't apply.
いいんですか？私一人でこれ全部食べちゃっても。
I feel like you're the one who would know better than me. Yep, this is it. In order to complete the next thing on her list, we made our way over to a cafe and ordered a deluxe-sized parfait. The other thing, too, if anyone sees us here, they're absolutely going to assume we're dating. People already decided that we're dating, like, but this is just going to be, like, how is anyone not going to think that at this point? It's my treat, too. I swear I've got my reasons. Okay. What are those? Yeah, go ahead.
おかわりもいいぞとか言って、後になってとんでもないしっぺ返しが来るとか。
What a weird scam. That'd be so bizarre. I don't think you have to worry about that. Nobody does stuff like that in real life. Oh, but you can't have seconds. Got it. Seems her dad's not the only eccentric one of the family. Oh, did you just notice this? She's the epitome of eccentricity.
わかりました。じゃあ。
Asuka picks up her spoon and positions it almost like she's readying a sword, and she swiftly stabs into the ice cream. Into the cream, not ice cream, but it's gotta be something. And stuffs it in her mouth. She's pretty happy. This is pretty cute. I don't care whether you like are like romantically interested in somebody or not. Like, I could see just taking someone who could be this just genuinely happy somewhere would be fun. She's practically inhaling it.
さあ、最高です。嬉しいです。美味しい。美味しすぎます。
I have to say, it's actually kind of funny because until this point, like, everyone always assumes that we're together with Asuka, but this is the first time we're actually seeing some, like, potentially lovey-dovey connections between her and the main character besides the first flight, right? We've been kind of focusing on everyone else in tiny little slivers, so I guess it makes sense. It does make sense we're going to see her now. Asuka's expression shifts to one of pure joy in an instant. Does it really make you that happy?
それはもう頭の中に糖分が行き渡って全身がほてってくるのを感じるぐらいです。
Aww. Not sure why she was avoiding it if she loves parfaits so much. It never banned her from having any. Still, it's nice to see her all happy. Oh, you never banned her, but you implied that, like, losing weight's a good thing, and she'd been mentioning that she'd been worried because the scale had been going up recently. And when you say that right afterwards, she's gonna take that as a subtle hint that's not subtle to not be, like, overeating. Like, this is just him being dumb. Aww.
甘いです。すごく美味しいです。
He's just happy. Stop it. I, like, looked down my phone because it vibrated and it's like playing one of my audiobooks. Like, it's just been acting weird. Like, there's something up with my phone. I need to, like, do something about it. Like I shouldn't even be getting distracted by it, but, like, I just, like, it was like vibrating. I was like, what are you doing? And it's like I listen to audiobooks when I drive, and it was just playing a book. I'm like, I'm in the middle of something there. It's like an important part. Don't be doing that. Okay. Asuka's expression shifts to one of intoxication to match her intoxicated voice. This goes back to when Mashiro got injured and Asuka started a diet. Sincere as she is, Asuka has diligently followed that self-imposed rule and avoided any excess calories until today. Earlier, she resolutely declared that she would only eat a parfait under my supervision. Oh. Okay. But honestly, I can't say I expected to actually watch her do it. Anyway, point is, I'm treating Asuka to a parfait today as a reward for all her hard work. And eating what you love every once in a while helps reduce stress and makes you feel better. And that's the real key to successfully losing weight. Kind of. Having successfully lost weight, and it's a battle. That's the thing, is it's still a struggle. I'm still working on that. I still have to constantly adjust and work on things, and I'm currently on a higher end than I'd like to be, and I've been trying to coordinate with my doctor to figure out what I could do to try and fix it. Turns out it's very likely a medication that was put on that has just basically put 20 extra pounds on me. And even though nothing on my diet's changed, it just has done that. And so I'm just trying to figure that out. Hopefully I'll be able to get off the medication soon, and then I should start going back to where I was. But, that's just life, always fighting it. But I will say, for her, it's probably fine. She tends to burn a lot of calories. She's in great shape as it is. Having a treat occasionally, it's unlikely to send her in a spiral. Food is not an addiction for her, most likely. Not truly, at least. If it's an addiction, then you need to treat it like an addiction, like an alcoholic and alcohol. People can drink alcohol occasionally as a social drinker, and it's fine. But if an alcoholic is trying to move on from their life, you can't just start socially drinking, because it's a slippery slope. So, for her, not a problem. For a lot of people, it would be a problem. Professional athletes never strictly abstain from eating high-calorie foods either. Instead, they have specific days where they're allowed to eat whatever they want.
生クリームが口の中でほどけて、喉を滑り落ちて、胃の中に染み渡るまでがもう幸せで。
That's really cute. Yeah, happiness, sure.
そこにイチゴの酸味がふわーって広がって、目の前もピンク色に染まっていくんです。
I mean, she could work on a food TV channel.
あ、まさやさんの顔もちょっとピンク色に。
Are you okay? She's got me pretty worried here. Though I've heard stories of people getting drunk on coffee back when I was first invented, so maybe it's only natural that this happened to her when she's held off of eating a parfait for so long. Oh, who am I kidding? This is nuts.
はあ、幸せでした。
I know she didn't, but it almost looks like she consumed the glass itself. Asuka butters that with a look of pure bliss on her face as the waitress takes the empty cups away. You really love parfaits, huh?
はい。あ、でもどちらかというと、より好きなのはパフェに乗っているイチゴですね。
That's good. That's true. Strawberries are great. You love my garden, Asuka. We planted a couple strawberries that we were on a walk, and somebody had just left some planters, the little garden planters, and they had 4 strawberry plants in them, and with a sign that said free, because I guess they planted all the ones they had some extra. So we just took them home, put them in the flower garden. Our flower garden is now just strawberries. They took over the whole thing, and I can't even be mad because I love strawberries. And so now every spring it's just strawberries every day for 2 weeks. Asuka reveals the deep-seated opinion with sparkling eyes. Really?
はい。
She seems pretty sure of herself.
イチゴのことを考えると、どんな辛いことも乗り切れる気がします。
Well, I mean, cool. I mean, you could be addicted to hard drugs. I'll take strawberries any day. People would usually say that about their family, not strawberries. Still, if she loves them that much, can I use them to give her some extra motivation? All right, let's make a promise.
約束?
Yeah, if you do well in the upcoming tournament, I'll treat you to another parfait. She's like, oh my gosh. You can get whatever you want, so give practice everything you've... Whoa! As I know, Asuka's face is right before my eyes.
二言はないですね。
That's really intense. Asuka? She looks dead serious. Plus, she's even getting a little teary-eyed.
私をやる気にさせようとして、人参だけぶら下げて、後でなしよーとか、そういうのされたら、私泣いちゃいますから。
That's adorable, and props for her to recognize it's a carrot. That it's a carrot on a stick. She knows, but she's like, I know what that is, and I'm doing it anyway. I'd never do something that evil.
じゃあ、本当にですね。本当に約束ですよ。
Does anyone get the sneaky suspicion that promises mean a lot to her? Just a hunch. Yeah, I promise.
嬉しい
A brimming smile forms on her face.
これからも練習頑張りますね
Can you? I thought you were already doing that. Asuka's practically bouncing as she says that. Wow. Seems I underestimated how much it would excite her.
嬉しいです練習は楽しいし試合も面白くてその上にイチゴまで食べられるなんて
Asuka keeps talking while gazing at the menu.
列島縦断スペシャルイチゴサンデーか水面に浮かぶ宝石の島パフェか
I mean,
どっちにしようかな
you've got at least like a couple of weeks to think about it. Thing is, she's in a stage where a person's excitement usually dwindles, so it's great to see that I found a way to boost her motivation. It's fine as long as she's happy. I hope this will help her reach her full potential. This really is the only thought in my mind right now as I gaze at her innocent face. Yep, you can't see. You become such a coach, you literally stop being like human because she's adorable. I'm surprised you're not thinking anything else. Hey, Minamo! We're not gonna see much of you, but apparently there were, like someone was saying before, that there were some planned potential like expansions or alternate routes, and Minamo was one of them because she's like a striking, interesting character, but it never came about apparently. Ah.
Oh.
After leaving the cafe and walking for a bit, we run into Minamo-chan. Hey there, Minamo-chan.
はいお久しぶりです
Has it? Pretty sure we met last time I was at Shirase-san's store. Shirase-san's store.
こんにちはみなもちゃん暮らしなアスカです
I'm pretty sure you introduced yourself last time, didn't you?
はいしらせみなもですこの前会った時は挨拶できなかったのでよかったですはいすみませんすぐいなくなって
Oh, okay. So they met, but they didn't meet. Gotcha. You don't have to apologize for that. She really is like a small animal. What a timid girl. Seems your brother isn't with you?
はい兄は福留島の方へ
Oh,
行って
interesting.
ます
Why did he go, like a special delivery? I see. You're by yourself then?
はいそうです
That sounds terrifying for you. I'm so sorry. Aww. She's pretty adorable and terrifying. Is something wrong? Minamo-chan's been staring at me the entire time. I think she wants to say something.
お兄ちゃんがいなくてもお買い物とかはできますよ
She's like, I've made lots of progress. Of course you can.
子供じゃないですよ
Oh, I see. It's my fault she looks so depressed. I couldn't tell right away, but I guess she thinks I was treating her like a child. Of course you aren't. I honestly don't see you as a child at all. I mean, just look at you. I'd call that big. I guess that must have made her really happy since she's pinning down her chest as if my words have really moved her as she looks up at me. Is she happy?
まだまだ
Oh gosh, she was talking about... No, that's not what we were... Huh?
でも成長過程なんで頑張ります
How did this get so... Okay, and now she's blushing. What an oddball. Of course, you're also an idiot. Well, we're gonna head out now. What about you?
一緒に行きませんかいいですやめておきますそっか残念ですごめんなさいでも邪魔とか役立つとか
Or steal?
できないです
Wow, she thinks highly of herself. Huh? Steal what exactly? I really don't get her sometimes.
それじゃ失礼します
Yeah, see you later.
しらせさんにもよろしくです
Also, I think it is kind of funny that that the main character and Asuka are apparently the only two people who don't think that they're dating, which is really funny. Minamo-chan walks away after giving us a swift bow.
みなもちゃんやっぱり可愛いですね
Right. Not really sure cute's the first word that comes to mind.
これからどうしましょうか
Good question. It's not that late, is it? I checked my phone and noticed it's just past 3. We've still got plenty of time before the sun sets, but not enough to do anything time-consuming. We don't really have any reason to stick around here, so I guess we should just... I'm about to suggest we head home, but...
Oh!
Oh, is right. Also, I like the casual look. She looks good. Well, they all look good. They're beautifully drawn characters and wonderfully, like, just have a great, like, design, language, just in general. They communicate personality really well. But yeah, hi, Misaki. We happen to run into a familiar face as we turn a corner. Ah! After registering our faces, Misaki turns around and tries to leave. Hey, don't you just run away? Say something.
ちゃんと「おう」って言ったじゃない。
Okay, sure. That doesn't count.
物言わずとも通じる仲じゃないの、私たち。
That's a bold assessment that you're saying. Why is talking to her always so exhausting?
まあいいや。とりあえずハローアスカ。今日はコーチのつきっきり指導？はい、そうです。栄養管理的な意味で。
That was a joke. But Asuka is just not a joker. Like, it's funny because, like, I'll say, like, so far I do see a little bit of myself in every character we've seen, like, of the main ones. And that's really weird for me. Normally, I don't feel like I can vibe with so many different characters. But yeah, Asuka and I have a similar in the sense that I just take things at face value most of the time. A lot of times a joke, sarcasm, it'll go right over my head if I don't know who you are very well, or I don't know, like, understand how you joke. I just take things right away, like, at face value, and sometimes I do it even when I know better. I just do. It's just my default. It's to just take you, like, you say it, you must have meant it, and it's just like, I get it, girl.
なんだって？射精管理？よく聞こえなかった。もう一回。
Misaki, you gotta stop.
栄養管理です。え？射精？
You gotta stop it. Quit messing with her, Misaki, and for the record, you're supposed to be on a diet too.
え？なんだって？
Hang on. I want to see that. So,
え？射精？え？射精？
wait, where's the... I'm trying to find the right line. Where is that?
え？射精？栄養管理です。
So, nutritional management, and then she's saying the joke, nutritional. But listen to the Japanese.
栄養管理です。え？射精？
So, there must be a thing, because it's not wordplay here, because obviously those are two very different phrases. So, if anyone happens to know enough Japanese to be able to explain what the joke is here, I would be interested, just because it's like, obviously the translators are probably, like, localizing it to be, like it's probably Misaki saying an innuendo or a type of, like, dirty joke, and Asuka's, like, it's just going over her head and she's just kind of, like, correcting it. I think that is the interaction we're having here, but instead of translating it literally, because it might not make much sense, they are going with, like, a wordplay, an English wordplay, you know, which, like, honestly, fairly, I could say probably valid. I'm sure plenty of people have different interpretations of it, but that's a good example where, like, sometimes you can hear they're actually doing wordplay, but this one doesn't sound like that. So I'd love to know what the joke is here, because I can't tell. Man, I wish I could learn Japanese. I need to make that happen. Anyway, so can't hear you. Cut it out already. She isn't eating junk food, is she? I'm getting worried here.
美咲ちゃんはお買い物？なんか適当にぶらついてる感じ。お邪魔しちゃ悪いからもう立ち去るね。
Yeah, no, listen, Misaki, no one's buying your little act. If you got nothing to do, come hang out with us.
そうですよ。一緒に行きませんか？誘導に乗らなかったか。まあいいや。じゃあ一緒に行こう。
And so, Misaki joined us on a stroll through town.
この3人で歩くのってなんか新鮮だね。ですね。
The Shiro and Perez are there during practice, so it's usually a lot more noisy.
だよね。でさ、せっかくだからこの3人だけの思い出とか作ってみたくない？
I both love and dread where this is going. What is she got up her sleeve? Well, she doesn't have sleeves, but what's up her proverbial sleeve this time? But just us three?
いいですね。どういう思い出ですか？
After hearing Asuka's response, Misaki looks around.
そうだね。
Then she points at a certain place.
若者のゲームセンター離れ。
Oh, that actually does sound fun. Yeah, let's do that. So what?
深刻なんだよ。それに消費税増税も乗っかって今やゲーセンはやばいことになってる。
I don't know if it's sales tax, but I agree. A lot of arcades have really struggled. There's a bit of a rebound with places like Dave & Buster's, but even then, I'm not convinced when I go in there that their model makes much sense economically. Like, there's got to be some level of profit going on there, but like, no one goes there just for the food, except for some like very, fringe people. And the games are fun, but they're pretty expensive, and so I think a lot of people see it as a luxury, not a place to go. Like the penny and quarter arcades, like from the 80s and 90s, was literally like, hey, like I'm in school, like elementary to high school. I don't have much money. I don't have a job. I'll just beg for some coins from my parents and go play at the arcade for a couple hours. Like, it was just like a place kids could go because it was a relatively cheap and entertaining place to be. But nowadays, it's not cheap, so it's not really a place kids can just go. They'd have to go with parents who are gonna bankroll them. Thanks for the info, but getting to the point already.
いや、そういえばゲームセンターってあんまり入ったことないなと思ってさ。
Yeah, how do you guys not realize that she's saying, hey, let's go to the arcade, because the arcade is a fun place, and we haven't been in a while. Makes sense. Most people play online games these days.
アスカはこっち転校してくる前、ゲーセンに通ってたりしてなかったの？あんまりゲームとかしませんから。あ、でもクレーンでぬいぐるみを取るゲームはしたことあります。
I'm sorry for your loss. Those are scams in 90% of it. I don't know. It feels like they communicate the idea that the Japanese ones aren't, but like they can't be. They can't actually be any better odds than the stupid clunky ones that I grew up with.
つまりそのくらいしかしたことないと。はい。やはり若者のゲームセンター離れは深刻なようだね。
And are you any different?
私もアスカと似たようなもん。ここは若者らしくゲームセンターに行ってみるべきでは？
I mean, it could be really fun. Why? I mean, you just said kids don't do that anymore.
いやー、前から入ってみたかったんだけど、女子の立場じゃ入りづらいものがあるじゃない？
Is it? Sure. It's mostly filled with guys, but I don't see why that'd stop you. So you want to go to one together?
女の子2人連れの両手に花状態でゲームセンターに行くのは男のロマンでは？周囲に自慢できちゃうよ。誇らしいよ。美少女2人と入るなんて、私が男なら感動で死んじゃうな。
It's so funny because it's utterly ridiculous most of the time for someone to literally refer to themselves as a 10, especially in like in this type of like setup. But because they're like artistically drawn characters in an idolized visual novel, they are 10s. Wow, ego much?
そこは多めに見るというか、価値基準を緩くしてさ。美咲ちゃんはそうかもしれないですけど、私なんかは。
You shut that right now. That no. You're both very pretty. Of course, it feels like you're fishing for compliments at that point.
いやいや、そういうつつましやかな謙遜はしなくていいよ。ここはダブル美少女ということで、マサヤに高く売りつけよ。
Who said I'd consider buying you? Basically, you're just asking me to take you to an arcade, right?
何も知らないダブル美少女を優しくエスコートするなんて男の誉れだと思うな。
Surprised you could even think of a word like innocuous on the spot. I don't mind going, but what about Asuka?
お二人が行くなら私も行きますけど。
That's very sweet of you, but like you could also just say, hey, can we do something else? Fine, let's go.
わーい、ほら、アスカも一緒に。はい。
Just a couple goofballs.
うわー、音がすごい。お祭りみたいだ。
This doesn't look even that big. The creepy cats in the corner. Well, like, oh, one of them aren't those doom meows? Yeah, at least some of those are. You sound like an old woman that's leaving her backwater village for the first time. Misaki hums God knows what as we reach the arcade. Is there a specific game you'd like to try? Isn't that punching machine right up your alley?
お金出してパンチするくらいならマサヤをパンチしてお金をもらうよ。
Okay, odd direction to take that. What are you, a mobster?
床をペコペコ踏んで踊るゲームをしてみたい。
Dance dance. Huh? Oh, a rhythm game, huh?
マサヤはやったことあるの？
Once or twice. Some people get really into it, but it wasn't for me.
アスカは？私も前の学校の友達としたことありますけど、たくさん足を動かさないといけないので大変でした。
Right, crazy is the perfect way to describe it.
足が増えてしまいそうな気がして怖かったです。
Grow a third leg? That's, pretty darn impossible.
よし、やってみよう!
Good luck. I wonder. Okay, so I was saying before how she has to, like, be the best at stuff, right? Is this her trying to prove that she's better than Asuka at something?
頑張れじゃなくて、マサヤも一緒にやるの。あれって二人同時にできるんでしょ？
You can, but why should I join you?
一人で台の上でジタバタするの恥ずかしいじゃない。私が周知でもだえるのを見たいというなら話は別だけど。
Oh, I'm sure he does, but like she's got her like weird siren call that just gets him to do stuff. Not at all. All right, I'll do it. He's so easy. I get on the platform and insert a coin. You okay with the simple song since it's the first time and all?
お任せします。これって勝ち負けあるんだよね。
It's got competition every time. Yeah? Why?
私が勝ったら何をしてもらおうかな。
Are you from Hinamizawa by chance? Because you seem like you might be part of a frickin' like game club. More importantly, what do I get when I win?
いや、別に何もしないけど。
That's not how that works. That's pretty one-sided, don't you think? Well, whatever. Let's just get started.
よし、来い！二人とも頑張ってくださいね。
All right. Misaki hangs her head dejectedly. You did pretty well for a first-timer. She'd finished with a rank C, which isn't great, but clearing the stage for her first time playing is pretty impressive. It actually is.
足がもう一本ないと無理だと思う。ですよね、ですよね。
Asuka nods vigorously to back up Misaki's words.
右、下、左、上とかどうやって踏めばいいわけ？理論上不可能じゃない？
Don't they have like the bar in the back? And I've seen people like hold their like weight with their arms on the bar so they can like make their legs go crazy. That basically gives you a third leg. How? It only feels impossible because you're trying to do it with one foot.
どういうと？
You've got to twist your hips to use both feet to follow the rhythm. The notes flow according to the beat of the song, so that's a lot more effective than just relying on timing and stomping around like a mad Hulk.
喧嘩とか言うな。
Ain't me no Hulk.
リズムか。よし、もう一回。
Fine, but only one more time.
おー。
Great. She beat us, right? Asuka claps her hands.
前のよりずっとそれっぽいです。分かってきた、分かってきた。踊るように腰を使うわけだ。もう一回だけ一緒にやろう。
We're over here like dying, like, please, I need a break. Look, you can just play by yourself.
対戦相手がいないと張り合いがないじゃない。それにマサヤの方が上のランクだし。
I need someone to compete with. She puffs up her cheeks as she gazes at the ranks displayed on the monitor. I got an S and she got an A. Yeah, so she does. She feels like she has to beat us. Man, you really can't stand losing, can you?
そんなことないと思うけど。
I know that pattern's very clear. Seriously, don't even know? Fine, we'll do it again, but this will be the last.
すごいです、すごいです。よしよしよし、盛り上がってきた。
Misaki and I both got S.
これって SS はないの？
No, S is the highest. We'll call it a draw and...
待った！曲のランクを上げよう。
Please. What's got you so worked up right now? You know it'd be nicer if you worked like this during practice. Though I guess it makes sense it's more fun for her since she sees the immediate results and all.
そう固いこと言わないでよ。私がお金を出すからさ。
I can pay for myself. Fine, one last time.
ついに美咲ちゃんの勝ちですね。
Why do you look upset?
ブー。
Why? Why do you look so disappointed?
ちゃんと本気でやった？
Oh, of course I was.
負けとかないとこいつはしつこいぞとか思ってわざと負けたんじゃないの？
It's like, no. No, I tried my best to beat you. Misaki's shoulders droop instantly.
マサヤってこういうとこで熱くならないタイプだよね。
I don't like making things about winning and losing.
コーチをやってる人がそんなのでいいのかな？
Yes, because I can focus on you having fun. You don't have to worry about that. I tend to get all worked up when it comes to you guys. I'm just like this when it's about me.
何かあったの？
Moving on. Nothing you need to know.
そうですかと。
Misaki jumps down from the platform and shoots me a forced smile in an attempt to liven up the atmosphere.
じゃ、このゲームの王者は私だってことで。
Aw, that's got a sour note to end on. King? What are we, some kind of kingdom with just the two of us?
住人同士の揉め事が多そうだね。
Oh, okay. You're the king, so deal with that yourself. I feel like at the end, the Engel's coefficient of that country would be stupidly high. What is an Engel coefficient? What the fetch is that? That sounds like an actual, thing. I need to look that up. I'm looking it up right now. Engel coefficient. It popped up. The Engel coefficient is a proportion of total household income or consumption expenditure spent on food. First proposed by German scientist Ernest Engel and a primary economic indicator used by the UN to evaluate living standards and food security across different populations. A low Engel coefficient indicates a higher standard of living, while a higher coefficient suggests poverty. Because the coefficient is the total food divided by the total expenditure times 100 to make it a percentage. So total food expenditure divided by the total expenditure. So basically what it would be is it would say you take what do you make in a month, and then you compile how much of that money goes towards just your food and essentially your necessities. Because if the top number is the food and you're dividing that into the bottom number, which is your total. If it's a lower number, that means you had a larger percentage of your money was able to go to everything else. It wasn't just how do I not starve to death? So that means that you have a high standard of living. And if that grows, if the number gets higher, where your dedicated portion of your income is to just food, then it means you have a lower one. That's interesting. I'll have to check that. I wonder what my budget would reflect on the Engel's coefficient.
次はアスカのしたいゲームがあれば付き合うけど。さっきから気になっていたんですけど、あのクレーンゲームのぬいぐるみが欲しいです。
Oh, huh? You mean one of those?
ああ、キモかわいい？普通に可愛くないですか？ほっぺのあたりがプリティで素敵だと思いますけど。
Oh, what the heck is that? Asuka's looking at the local mascot, Mr. Shito. You could say that in a more English way. This Shito obviously comes from the city's name. Why does it look like that? A lot of people think it looks gross, but once you get used to it, it does seem kind of cute. It's the kind of design that grows on you. Like a fungus? What the fetch is that? Where'd the design come from?
男の子らしく、マサヤが頑張って。
Okay, sure. You're making me play again.
女の子が望む獲物を買ってくるだなんて、王子様とか王様みたいでかっこいいじゃない？
Then why aren't you doing it? You were the king. I thought you were a king around here.
お金は私が出しますから。
Oh my gosh. Don't worry about it. It'll probably be pretty easy. This man has not done crane games in a while.
見ただけでそれがわかるなんてかっこいいね、アスカ。はい、王子様っぽいと思います。
A king wouldn't be caught dead doing something like this. I say as I check the contents of the claw machine. Figured. They tampered with it. Plushies are laid out with a fair amount of space between them, which should make it pretty easy to get one. I'm guessing hardly anyone plays this game. They probably put the plushies in like that to attract customers. Okay, let's do this.
頑張ってください。
Winning and losing, huh? If I wasn't so obsessed with that in the past, then maybe. No, I can't do this. Thinking about what ifs won't get me anywhere.
楽しかったです。
Glad to hear it.
私はここでお別れだ。また明日。
Oh, I interrupted
マサ
her.
ヤ、
What?
マサヤに渡したいものあるんだ。
Okay. Why are you acting all serious now?
はい、これマサヤにあげる。私だと思って大事にしてね。
I actually took you seriously for a second! Keep it. I instantly shoved Mr. Shido Misaki's holding out back toward her. I managed to get 4 of them in 2 tries, so I gave Misaki one.
だってこんなのあったら呪われそうだよ。
I agree.
そんなことないです。紫藤さんは優しく見守ってくれるに違いありません。
That's terrifying. Please no.
これに優しく見守られるっていうのも怖いけど、だったらマサヤだと思って大事にしとく。
You can't just toy with a man's heart like that. Don't think of that thing as me. No, that definitely sounds like a curse. Misaki looks at Mr. Shido and...
じゃあ帰ろうか、マサヤ。
Oh gosh. Don't give it my name! I feel a curse creeping all over me already. Misaki simply laughs at my complaints.
飛ぶにゃん。
What the okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot that was her key to fly. Misaki activates her grav shoes.
二人ともまた明日ね。
See ya.
はい、それでは。
Bye. Misaki flies off after giving us one final wave of her hand.
行っちゃいましたね。
Right. I was a little worried about how she acted after practice yesterday, but now I see that she's the same old Misaki. I'm honestly surprised she didn't know, though. She normally never gets fixated on anything, but she really hates to lose. It's clear from the way she acts, but I guess she wasn't even aware. Weird.
美咲ちゃん、元気そうで安心しました。
Yeah, but I feel like there's a lot more to her than even I expected. Like, it definitely is painting her as one of the more complicated of the characters so far. Probably in the whole thing, honestly. Isn't she always like that?
そうでしょうか。
Hmm?
この間の練習の後、ちょっとだけ落ち込んでる感じだったから、それが気になってたんです。
We have a main character alert. He can't see what's right in front of his face. Mr. Dense is a frickin' neutron star. Huh? Oh my gosh, this guy. He's got some real Takaru vibes.
私の気のせいなのかな。
No, you've got a pretty good eye there.
マサヤさんにもそう見えてたんですか？
Yeah, though it looks like there's no need to worry. Honestly, I'm a little surprised Asuka noticed, or rather, I'm surprised that she's good at viewing things with a rational eye. Are you really that surprised? She's an earnest person who can be a little ditzy, but she cares, and when she cares, she's very observant, and she's got good instincts. That's the thing, you should never doubt Asuka's instincts. We've just been going around having fun today, but that's a pretty useful find. Alright, let's head back now.
はいですね。
Asuka happily holds up the 2 Mr. Shidos she got from B, then speaks to them.
じゃあ帰りましょう、マサヤさん。
Not you! Again, don't name them after me. That was cute. That was very cute. Alright. I probably should stop here. I don't want to, though. But I feel like if I just start, we're going to not get very far, and I'll have to stop pretty shortly. I'll do a little bit more. I spent my entire Saturday on a private coaching session of sorts, so I'll go shopping on my own today. There's a book I want to get and a place I want to check out. I've only had FC on the brain for the last while, so this should be a nice change of pace. Oh, hey Rika, we haven't seen you in a while. Well, we're neighbors, so this sort of thing is bound to happen every once in a while. Still, it's the fact that we even opened the door and looked at each other at the exact same time is pretty awkward. Curse my bad luck.
どこへ行かれるんですか？
It's a weird thing to be demanding, but okay. Nowhere special, just wanted to do some shopping.
そうなんですか。
How about you?
私も買い物ってもと。
I see. Wow, what a coincidence.
ですね。
Oh gosh, even my acting is like too on point for this. Oh no. We both laugh and smile awkwardly in unison. Well, guess I'll be on my way now.
私も
Just go together!
それで買い物ってどこへ
Okay. You know what? I will end here, because this is going to be too enjoyable that I don't want to break it into pieces, but we're absolutely doing an accidental shopping date today. It's going to be great. So, we're going to stop here for now. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for being here on the channel and for be willing to be patient when I can talk and when I can post my videos. I appreciate it. So it means the world to me that you stuck around, and I'm just really grateful for that. You know, it's really funny. It's gonna be kind of random, but like on my feed, I keep getting little snippets of Ludwig, you know, Twitch streamer. I guess they did like a streamer university thing where they basically just pulled together some of the up and coming streamers and gave them an opportunity to like kind of go to seminars, basically. It sounds like most of it was basically a big joke, but Ludwig's clips from his actually sounds like he legitimately is trying to show them the business side of things, which is really cool to see. He had some really good advice. He even talked about some of the things where he put in perspective like what success looks like on streaming platform and, you know, translates to YouTube. He talks about how you should be working multiple angles to try and kind of broaden your reach, which is something I would love to do, but I'm not sure how I can. At least at my stage. But he also talked about how like showing respect, not making everything about content, treating people with dignity and not just seeing them as vehicles of success, and where like you only talk to and interact with people who they can help improve your streaming or your like broadcasting abilities on YouTube. You know, he kept it real. He also talked about like learning from other channels, finding what's successful, working it in your system, trying to do that, but ultimately like making stuff that you want to make. And, you know, also just talking about how like there's no special formula. Some people do the exact wrong things and are successful anyway. And I don't know, it just kind of made me feel better because it's like, yeah, I'm not incredibly successful, but yet maybe I will be. Maybe it's just not my time, or maybe I just haven't found my stride, or, you know, maybe I will eventually feel up to and willing to try stuff that might be more successful, but I don't know. I'd rather just make the content I want to make, cultivate the community we have, and, you know, share and make content I'm excited about, you know, whatever that ends up being. So it was just really inspirational, and I appreciate that he was taking the time to actually try and help people, even though a lot of the people that were in the videos look like some of the most obnoxious people I've ever seen in my entire existence. Whatever. Apparently they're successful. Probably more successful than I'll ever be, and that is what it is. But I think it was a good refresher to be like reminded that there's a lot more joy in making stuff you want to make because you want to make it, rather than chasing numbers, algorithms, and success as it's deemed by the masses. So thank you for being a part of the success that I have, the absolute incredible success that I enjoy on this channel. And hopefully there's be more fun things to do in the future. But for now, we will part ways. So thank you so much for your time here. It means the world to me. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I'm looking forward to next week's episode. I want to have some Rika time. That sounds like a good thing. And we should have Rika time that doesn't end in some type of embarrassing, what was it called? Wardrobe malfunction. I don't want to have any, like, crazy innuendo type situations. Can we just have a nice day with Rika? That would be great. I would love that. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for being here. Until next video, watching me, I'll see me next. I'll see you there.